how to use a reverse mortgage to buy your retirement dream home and eliminate having a mortgage payment as well. Interesting, huh? So we're going to talk about here today, looking at the HECM home equity conversion mortgage. That's the other known name for a reverse mortgage. The HECM Advisors Group by my man Don Graves. He has a nice little case study I think you'll like. You know how I feel about reverse mortgages. I like them. I plan on absolutely using one at that point later on down the road when that time's coming. Now, we'll see. I'm 40. You got to be 62 to use them, so I'm about to turn 49 next week, I guess. So we'll see. They might not be around. I have no clue. But as we sit here today, I think the opportunity in reverse mortgage is a giganosaur, and that people don't use them more. It boggles my mind, especially for his retirement crisis. So let's dive into this because I like it. This is my man Don Graves, his group. Why does this thing give me such a hard time to minimize that? It's the weirdest thing. There we go. All right, so this is a HECM Advisors Group, which is from a guy named Don Graves right here. I'm a big fan of Don, and he's got a podcast someplace out here, blog podcast. So you should definitely, if you're interested in reverse mortgages, you should definitely sign up for Don's stuff. I'm on his email list, and you should be as well. Never met the guy, never talked to the guy. One of these days, I'll probably try to get him on the blog, the podcast. All right, so here he is, a HECM Advisors Group case study: how one couple purchased their retirement dream home and added $50,000 to savings, and I would add, and had no mortgage payment either. All right, and this is Dateline April 8th, 2019. And here's Tom and Jane. It looks like that's Italy, doesn't it? Oh, man, Italy. Oh, can you imagine living in Italy? Ugh. Can you imagine I've never been to Italy. I love Italian food. I could eat, you throw mozzarella cheese on anything, provolone, I'm your best friend. Anyway, it looks like they're in Italy. I don't know why that look makes me think of Italy. And I'm Irish German, so I don't have any of that Italian flowing through me at all. But anyway, that's just someplace I could handle. All right, so they're married. Both are 71 years old. They have a current home value of $500,000. They have an outstanding mortgage balance of $175,000 with a $1,279 a month payment. All right, so you're getting that. Tons of equity, but it's not doing them any good right now. Tons of equity, but it's not doing them any good because they have that payment. So not only do they have equity that's not being used, but it actually hurts them because they have a $1,279 outflow. They have $540,000 in an IRA/savings, liquid net worth, and they're making between them $3,200 a month pension or a Social Security and another $705 a month pension. So this is not extraordinary. These people aren't extraordinary for sure. They got a decent priced house. That's high value, don't get me wrong, but if they've been in there for a long time and if they had some good markets, in a good neighborhood, that's happening. Haddonfield, New Jersey, that easily could happen in Haddonfield, New Jersey. Lots of places out there. $500,000 home would not be extraordinary. With still they owe $175,000 on it, so they have $325,000 of equity, which is cost of that equity. It's costing them $1,279 a month. So let's just look at this. What the $1,279 times 12. It's costing $15,348 a year for income, and their pension and Social Security combined, 3905. So times 12. So they're getting $46,000. We'll just say $47,000 a year in income, of which their Social Security, their mortgage is taking up basically a third of that, and I don't think that's unique at all. So a third of their income is going to their housing. And yet they have this huge amount of equity that's just sitting there dead. And they have about $540 in IRA savings. So let's just say $540, they're 71 years old. So we'll just say it's all in IRA accounts. We're going to divide that 26.5. They're going to have another $20,000 in RMDs. All right, so they have $20,000 in RMDs, which essentially would cover the cost of their mortgage. But still, that's a significant amount of money. It's just not being used, or equity is not being used. All right. So Tom and Jane's advisor discerned their primary concerns based on a strategic core framework that Don drafted as the 5 L's. And this is for you to think about for yourself, my friend. So you don't need an advisor to help you. Well, you couldn't. It's fine. But longevity, lifestyle, liquidity, legacy, and long-term care. These retirement concerns are simple to understand, are extremely powerful when combined with laser-focused questions, and you can get your own copy here. Lifestyle. Tom and Jane's current home is too large for them and doesn't suit the retirement lifestyle they desire. They'd like to buy a smaller home in a retirement community. Liquidity. They'd also like to have additional cash flow each month to be able to enjoy the years of retirement, the early years of the retirement. Well, I don't know if they're early. They're 71 now, but certainly they're not 89 years old. Long-term care. They don't have any long-term care insurance as they're now uninsurable. So they like to have access to funds should they need to cover an extended care episode. All right, so we got longevity. What do we say? The 5 L's: longevity, lifestyle, liquidity, legacy, and long-term care. So we haven't talked about longevity yet, and we haven't talked about legacy. All right, and that may or may not be some concern. I don't know, but that's what my man Don is talking about, the 5 L's. I like that. I think it's a good conversation. And then the advisor said, if you could increase your cash flow, reduce your expenses, and add some money to the bank, but that involved moving to your next, last, and best home, would you want to know about it? And they said, yes, we would. I hate those questions. I hate that. If you could do this, would you want to know about it? Yes. I've always hated that because it's always such a sales pitch, in my opinion. When I was in banking, the best sales training I ever had was in banking, but wasn't this way. But one guy came in talking about annuities, and I'll never forget. He's like, "Tell your clients if you could do this, that, and that, would you be?" I said, "I can't do that. I just simply can't. I just tell them this is what I think you should do, and they can take it or leave it. I've always hated if you could do that anyway." So I'm not going to listen to that sales pitch because I can't stand it. But let's keep going. All right. So what are their choices? So their goals are a newer home with less maintenance, lower taxes, and better amenities. That's what they're trying to accomplish with more cash flow, because that means travel without worry and more golf. So Tom and Jane, their choices are three things. Tom and Jane sell their current home and pay off the existing mortgage at $175,000. They now have $300,000 in proceeds from the sale. I guess we're using $25,000 as a closing cost. So at least my man Don is not. I mean, he's showing the closing costs. I mean, they have $325,000 in equity, and yet you're only walking away with $300,000 for the proceeds from the sale. So there you go. I mean, it's literally a lot of firms won't take the closing costs into consideration on a sale, and I think that's a huge error. So they choose a $30,000 home in a nice retirement community. They have a few financing options. All right, so remember, they sold their current home off. They sold their current home for $500,000, and they're walking out with $300,000 cash money and no mortgage. Everything's paid off, so they got $300,000 of cash. They want to buy a new home for $430,000, downsize essentially, in a retirement community. They can pull from savings to pay cash. So this option reduces their, because remember, they got $540,000 in liquid net worth right now. So they got to come up with $130,000 in which to buy this home, because they got $300,000 cash money. The house that they want to buy is $430,000. So $430 minus $300,000, they got to come up with the remaining $130,000 from the $540,000 they have in the retirement account. So they got $540,000 in the retirement account. So they have to take a third of that in order to buy the home cash money. This option reduces the retirement assets by nearly 25% and locks the proceeds in the new property. What happens if another housing correction happens and the home loses value? What happens if they cannot get the money out of the property when they need it? I agree with all that, but it's also taxable too. I mean, don't forget that $130,000 they're pulling out of their IRA, they got to pay taxes on. So that's they're going to lose, 22% at the very minimum right out of the gate. So 130 times 1.22 is going to cost them $160,000 to pull 130 out. So that's a big deal. That does not seem very advisable to me. That's for sure. So not a big fan of that. Traditional mortgage, they can make a smaller down payment in cash and finance the rest by taking out traditional mortgage. If they do that, they'll be paying $700 a month for 30 years, something they'd rather not do. So they can say, look, we're going to have $300,000 going towards the property, have a $130,000 mortgage over 30 years. It'll cost us $700 a month. That's less than what they're paying now, but it's still a cash outflow. I mean, they'll have, that's fine, but again, they have $300,000 equity that's just sitting there. That's actually costing them money. Their equity is actually costing them money, $700 a month, and they're like, we don't want to do that. I get it. The other one is reverse mortgage. The HECM for Purchase program makes $186,000 available, so they must contribute a $243,000 down payment. They'll have no mandatory mortgage payments and will be able to add $56,000 to savings, because what happens here, they have $300,000 from the proceeds of selling their home. but they'll need to make $243,000 as a down payment on this new home. So $300,000 minus $243 leaves us with $56,000 left of cash money. And the home equity, the reverse mortgage chips in the rest. So the basic, they're saying reverse mortgage will kick in the $186,000. You kick in the $243, and now you're golden. You have the home free and clear. You have all the equity in the home, but no mortgage payment at all, and you have the $56,000 left over. So here's a little graph here. So they sell the home. The price of the new home is $430. All right, so they sell the home and have $300,000. The price of the new home is $430. The reverse mortgage will pay $186,000 towards the $430, and then they're going to come up with the rest, $243. So they have $300,000 minus $243. They still net $56,000 of cash value that they have in their pocket at the bank or whatever. They haven't had to take any taxable distributions from an IRA, so they've left that $540 in their IRA without having to take a major tax hit, and they have no mortgage payment. So they still have $186,000 outstanding alone on the reverse mortgage, but they still have tons of equity. I mean, they got $243,000 of equity. It just makes sense to me. And they still kept their $540,000 in the IRA, and they have no monthly payment. Let's see. Not only were Tom and Jane extremely happy to have the new home, but they were relieved to improve their overall liquidity and retirement savings while reducing the drain on their portfolio exactly by eliminating the monthly mortgage payment requirements. Could not agree more. Huge fan of this. I think it's, again, way underutilized. I think more people should do it. Look, man. But Josh, they have a mortgage. I get it. That mortgage. I mean, that's growing at whatever the rates are right now. We'll say 5.5. I don't know. I mean, whatever the mortgage rates are on reverse mortgages is not whatever a traditional mortgage rate is. So that's growing at $186,000 is growing at, let's say, 5.5% a year. I completely get that. But for your retirement, I just hate to say this, who cares? Who cares? Now you don't have to worry about a mortgage payment. You don't have to worry about a huge taxable distribution. You're in the house you want. And it seems to me, even if the worst case scenario is that you leave an inheritance of nothing but your retirement accounts to your kids where they don't have a home because the value of the home, the value of the mortgage still outstanding became equal to the value of the home. Because remember, it can't go higher. It's a non-recourse loan. The debt outstanding cannot be greater than the value of the home. So let's just say you leave a house that's worth $500,000 with $500,000 of debt. Sucks, but guess what? You're leaving, most likely you're leaving your kids with another source of money over here in your IRA, or I'd hate to say it, maybe you don't even care about leaving that much to your kids anyway. I don't know. But just, oh man, you don't have a mortgage payment. You don't take the money out of your account. You're putting that equity to work. And you're reducing your taxes. I don't get why the animosity towards these products are. All right. So, we got other things for reverse mortgages on here. Ed Slott did a podcast with Don where he actually talked about the benefits of reverse mortgage for the first time that I've ever heard Ed Slott talk about. We got other stuff from here. Wade Fowles on here. So we got lots of other things from Don Grave. Highly recommend you look at this. But look at doing a reverse mortgage to purchase your retirement home. I'm telling you, you should look at it. There's no other way around that. I have no idea what it'll cost you. I have no idea who you should go to. You need to do your research. Don't just think they're scams. You got to pay your property taxes, for the love of me. If you don't pay your property taxes, you're going to be in a world of hurt. But that has nothing to do with the reverse mortgage. It has to do with the county and not paying your property tax. All right, so don't forget to smash, and we'll see you next time. Thanks now.